I was about 3, my parents divorced. I don't know pretty much a timeline from my childhood before the age of 12 or 13. There's a lot of fuzzy things, like memories in my head that I'm not sure when happened, but I know they happened. I know for the majority of my time I lived with my dad, and I barely lived with my mom. I remember living with my mom for a short while, but for the majority of the time I was living with my dad. There came a time where I wanted to live with my mom, and my dad wouldn't let me, so I told my mom we should go to court, and she agreed. This was probably when I was like 11 or 12. Probably the worst time in my life one of the worst times I could remember was when I had to go through supervised visitations to see my mom. So basically this looks like my mom paying for 2 hours to spend time with me every couple weeks just to see me, and we would go inside of this room and this person with their clipboard would be on the other side, or not too far off from us, because they needed to hear what was being said, because we couldn't talk about some things. But she would bring me like a home-cooked meal because I love her cooking, and we would just be on our phones or talk for a little bit, maybe play a game. We didn't really have time to watch a movie once we got started, so that was kind of out of the picture. But I always remember after those times I would go home and I would cry because I didn't understand why it was happening like that, why it was happening to me, why I couldn't see my mom. As a little girl, that's all I wanted in my life, was to be with my mom and have her explain things that were happening to me, and talk about boys and all that stuff. So after the court had decided, they ruled that my dad would get pretty much 70% of the time with me and my mom would get 30%, which basically looks like I would pack up my stuff from my dad's after 10 days, go with my mom on a Wednesday afternoon after school. I would take my stuff to her house. So say if she picked me up from school, I would just pack my stuff in her car, and then she would take it home, and I would go to school, and then I would spend 4 days with her and unpack all my stuff, and then pack it all up and go to my dad's on Sunday afternoon. So this was just enough time on Sunday for me to go to church and then maybe have brunch with my mom, and then she would drop me off. And I was always really sad. It's not that like my dad isn't great. It's just a little girl wanting to be with her mom, and I barely had any time with her during my childhood. So that was pretty much one of the most depressing times of my life, and it made me feel like I didn't have a home. Like I was constantly moving back and forth between these two environments that were totally different. My dad was basically just a parent and no friend, and my mom was all friend and no parent. So there would be pretty much no rules with my mom and all the rules with my dad. And I was just trying to adjust each week, and this actually went on for from the age like 13 to 17, maybe 12 to 17. It was a long time, and it made me tired. I did not like I still don't like packing. I don't like unpacking. It's a lot for someone to adjust to, and you'd think that you'd get used to it after a while, but I didn't. So when I was 17, I moved out of my dad's house and I moved into my mom's apartment, and I was there for a few years throughout college, and we ended up moving out of the apartment after, you know, a few years, because she still lived in that apartment when I was switching back and forth. So probably from 2018 to 2019 to 20, yeah, for a year or two, sorry, it's fuzzy, I lived with my mom there, probably for the first couple years of college. And then in 2019, I believe, maybe end of it, beginning of 2020, I moved into my aunt's house my aunt's apartment with my uncle, and I was pretty much confined to the one room. I didn't really feel like I could, you know, clean or cook, or not clean, but, well, yeah, I didn't feel like I could clean properly or cook stuff, because she was pretty much like a clean freak and, you know, really wanted things her way. And so I just thought it would be best to not do anything there. I didn't really shower there. I didn't cook there for myself. It was just a place that I went to sleep at night, pretty much. And you're probably asking, you know, well, where did you do all these things then? Well, I had met my now fiance, you know, previous boyfriend. I had met him when I was 15 or 16, and after a couple years, we ended up dating in 2018, the year I had graduated high school, and started getting really close with his family, and pretty much was basically living at his parents' house. And I would shower there, you know, after some time of getting to know them and just becoming like their child. I would shower there, I would cook there. They had an extra fridge, and I would keep my things there, and then I'd pretty much be there all the time until 11 o'clock at night, which was essentially my curfew to where, like, for my soon-to-be mother-in-law, you know, she would just be like, all right, you know, 11 o'clock is the deadline. So I would leave at 11, and I would go home to my aunt's house, and I would crash there for the night, and I would do it all over again. So I quickly found myself feeling like I don't have a home. You know, I'm back here again. I'm packing up my stuff in my backpack, you know, this time with COVID and online school, and unpack my stuff at their house, and, you know, maybe forget some things at the apartment of my aunt's, you know, or my aunt's apartment. And I came into this mentality where I feel like I always had to be prepared, and I needed everything. Like, it was not, you wouldn't find me there without my backpack full of everything that I needed, you know, medicine and like scissors and notebooks and whatever I needed for the day, change of clothes. Like, I would sometimes carry like all my, like, just a couple bags over there. And again, I found myself getting tired and just tired of the circumstances and feeling like I can't do this anymore. Like, I feel like I do not have a home. And to make matters worse, I mean, I don't really have like close friendships. I had lost my, well, I say lost, but me and my best friend of many years, we had a huge falling out a couple years ago, and we do not even talk now, and we are pretty much like sisters. She was who I would spend my, you know, my time every day with, other than my fiance. And of course, after she had exited my life, I felt like I was alone again, and you know, just having breakdown after breakdown and feeling depressed, and like I pretty much had no one, you know, and I was stuck in this routine every day, like of feeling like I didn't have a place. You know, it wears on a person. Yeah, amongst other things. And you know, this even like, you know, within the past year, like this pandemic has been harder for me than ever. So yeah, anyway, I say these things because like I want people to understand, like sometimes it feels like you don't have a home, you know, and it may feel like that for many years. And there may be a season of your life where you're just tired and exhausted and you don't know, you know, when things will end or when they'll get better. Like it seems like everything is happening one after another, and it's just horrible news here and then terrible news there. But it does get better. I am now sitting in my apartment that I moved into April 6th, so a couple weeks ago, and it's been such a relief. Like I feel like I could cry. Like it's finally like, I know I'm not gonna be here forever, but it feels like home. Like I don't have to worry about like packing up all my stuff. Like it just feels like I've been doing that from the age like 13 to 20. You know, I'm 20 and I was still, you know, doing what I knew, just packing up everything, you know, going. So yeah, that's pretty much my story. I mean, I'm in my own place, and I am on a health journey, and I am finally feeling like I'm getting in control of my life. And that's not easy when you're planning a wedding, let me tell you. And sure, I mean, like, I still have moments where I feel like I'm slipping into a moment of sadness or depression, or, you know, whatever someone may call it. But it's brighter. My days are brighter now, and I can see that tunnel, like the light at the end of the tunnel. Like I'm right there. And it used to just feel like days. Like I just could not see a light at the end. So yeah, I thank you for listening to my story, and of course there has been much more, but that I could have told, but I felt like this was important to share with you all. Yeah, thank you. I'm gonna cry.